Hello students, I, Mrs. Madhvi Matre, welcome you all in the next lecture of Mathematics 1. We are studying chapter number 2, that is real numbers. In this, we have completed all the topics and we have completed all the practice set. And in the previous lecture, we have started with the problem set 2. Now, let's go ahead in problem set 2. In previous lecture, I have completed question number 1, which was MCQ, that is multiple choice questions. So those questions were discussed by me in the previous lecture. Now let's go ahead in problem set 2 towards question number 2. So here question number 2 is write the following numbers in P upon Q form. Now such problems you have solved in practice set 2.1, but still I am discussing two problems here. Okay, remaining you can solve by yourself, because here they are given in different form. Now here please take a note that here 0.555 is given and in front of that dot 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 should be there. Okay, the question should be like this. 0.555 means 5 is coming again and again, it's recurring, which we can write as 0.5 recurring. This dot shows that 5 is recurring. Okay, so this change you make here, because it is not terminating one, it is recurring one, and then only we can uh, change it into P upon Q form. Okay, so take a note of this. So this 0.555 we can write as 0.5 recurring. Now this number we are going to take as x. All of you know the method already. So let x is equal to 0.555 and so on, that is equal to 0.5 recurring. Now see here, since only one digit is recurring, here we are going to multiply both the sides by 10x. You know that if one digit is recurring, we have to multiply by 10. If two are recurring, we have to multiply by 100. And if three are recurring, we have to multiply by 1000. So here only one digit is recurring, therefore we have to multiply both the sides by 10x. So let's multiply by 10x. So here 10 into x is 10x on LHS is equal to, here when we are multiplying by 10, you know that this decimal point is shift, it is going to shift by 1 towards right hand side. Okay, so 0.555 when we multiply by 10, we are going to get 5.555 recurring. Okay, that is, in short, we can write like this, 5.5 recurring. Now after this, the next step that we have to subtract. We have to subtract x from 10x. So what we can write is 10x minus x on LHS, and on RHS 5.5 recurring minus 0.5 recurring. So 10x minus x means what? 10x minus 1x. So here we will get 9x and here we will get 5. See, this 5 minus 5 is 0 and here 5 minus 0 is 5. So we got 9x is equal to 5, and from that we can write down that x is equal to 5 upon 9. Okay. So in this way 0.5 recurring we have expressed in the form of P upon Q. I told you in MCQ that when you have 0 here and after that if you have point, then to solve MCQ you can guess the answer directly. Okay, that is, if it is only one digit is recurring, then that number divided by 9. If two digits are recurring, then the number which is given, that is divided by 99. This way you can guess the answer, okay, without solving also. But here when the question is that you write in the form of P upon Q or you solve it, that time you need to do all these steps. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Second one, 29.568 recurring. Okay, so here three digits are recurring. So the very first step we have to take the number as x. And then since the three digits are recurring, we have to multiply both the sides by 1000. Okay, so 1000 into x is 1000x on LHS. and here 29.568 recurring multiplied by 1000. So this decimal point is going to shift by 3 places. 3 zeros, so it is going to shift by 3 places. So what we will get? 29,568.568568 and so on, which we can write as 29,568.568 recurring. Okay. So all the steps are similar, you know that. Now the next step easily you can solve, that you have to go for subtraction. So what we are going to do is 1000x minus x on LHS here, and here 29,568.568 recurring minus 29.568 recurring. Okay. So now after decimal point, since the number is same, here we are going to get 0, no doubt. So here we have to subtract simply 29 from this 29,568. Or to be more specific, simply subtract 29 from 68. These three digits are going to remain same. So when we subtract 29 from 68, the answer is 39. So our answer is 29,539. And here 1000x minus 1x, that is 999x. And next step, now to find x means simply shift this 999 in the denominator. So answer is x is equal to 29,539 divided by 999. Okay. So in this way you can solve the sums. These sums will appear for 2 marks in exams. Okay. They are important also. Now see, there are more sums in this particular question. So you have question number 3, 9.315 recurring. Question number 4, 357.417 recurring. And here 30.219 recurring. Okay, you can convert it in the form of bar as we have done in the first one. So everywhere you have to multiply by 1000. So the method is exactly similar to second one. So all of you please follow that and solve it as homework. Okay, so mark it that you are going to solve it as homework. Next, now let's go towards the next question. Question number 3. Write the following numbers in its decimal form. So such sums also we have solved in 2.1. Here, when we want to write in decimal form, we have to go for actual division. Okay, so if you don't understand it, then you can see the video of practice set 2.1 again. These sums you will solve as homework. Here you are going to divide, actually you are going to divide 5 by 7. Okay, when it means you will do the division sign, and then you will write down 5 inside and 7 outside, and you will divide. So you will get answer in 0 point something. Either you will get recurring or you will get terminating type also. Okay, so solve it and write in decimal form. Okay, so this question also is homework. Now clearly you know that when we do this, we observe the denominator, that if the denominator is having factors of 2 and 5, then the decimal form is terminating one. So in this case only here you will get terminating one. Here 7, 11 and 13, they are prime numbers. They don't have factors as 2 and 5. So here everywhere you will get recurring one. And to find root 5, you know, in 8th standard you are having the division method to find the square root. So use that method here and find square root of 5. Got it? If you have any problem in finding the answers, you can simply message me. Okay, let's go further now. Question number 4 here. Show that 5 plus root 7 is an irrational number. So such sum also we have done in practice set. Okay, but still I am giving you the answer. There one such sum was solved. So same steps we are going to repeat, only the numbers are different here. So you know that when we want to prove that any number is irrational number, we are We cannot prove it by direct proof. Okay, we have to go for indirect proof. So what is indirect proof? We have to take this statement as false. That means we will assume that this statement is false. So what we will assume that 5 plus root 7 is not an irrational number. That means it's a rational number. So we will start with this. That let us assume that 5 plus root 7 is a rational number. Not irrational means rational. Okay. Then we know that rational numbers, which are also called as quotients, we can write down them in the form of P upon Q or A upon B, where A and B, they are integers. Also A and B, they are co-primes, means what? They don't have any common factor other than 1. Also the second important condition here is B cannot be 0. You know that denominator cannot be 0. So this condition you need to write, that B is not equal to 0. Okay. So this 5 plus root 7 we have written as A upon B, that's rational number. Now this 5 we will shift on RHS. So what we will get here, root 7 is equal to A upon B minus 5. Number this as 1. Number this equation as 1. Now let's compare both the sides of this equation. That means let's compare the RHS, right hand side, and LHS, that means left hand side. Okay, now see what we have written. A and B, they are integers. 5 is also integer. So any operation if we do on integers, then the answer is going to be integer. Okay, that means the right hand side is integer. That we can write down. That A upon B minus 5 is a rational number because A and B are integers. Okay, but see the left hand side. Left hand side, root 7 is an irrational number. We have studied about surds. Okay, so 7 is not a perfect square. So square root of 7 is a irrational number. So what we can say, the RHS is a rational number. Opposite to that, LHS, root 7 is an irrational number. So this is contradictory. LHS is irrational and RHS is rational. It is not possible because we have equal to sign in between. Okay, so we can say that this is contradictory, and this contradiction arised because of our wrong assumption. That means here whatever we assumed is wrong. That our assumption that 5 plus root 7 is a rational number is wrong, and therefore whatever given is correct. Therefore we can say that 5 plus root 7 is an irrational number. Okay, so the similar statements, only the numbers are changed. So here you can have any numbers, like here you can have 3 plus root 11 also. Okay, so all the steps you will follow, only you are going to change the numbers. That's it. Okay, so this is also an important question which will come for 3 marks. Now let's go ahead. Question number 5. Write the following surds in simplest form. So here there are 2 questions. Out of that I am solving second one. By using the same method you can solve the first one also. Okay, already we have solved such sums in exercises, that you know how to express the surds in simplest form. So let us do the second one. Question number 2, that is minus 5 upon 9 root 45. So this 45 we are going to split in such a way that one factor should be a perfect square. So 49 we can, 45 we can write as 9 into 5. 9 5s are 45 and 9 is a perfect square. Don't split it like 15 into 3. It's of no use because 15 is not a perfect square, 3 is not a perfect square. We have to split in such a way that one factor should be a perfect square. So 45 we have to split as 9 into 5. Okay, so this minus 5 upon 9 is written as it is. Simply 45 is changed to 9 into 5. Okay, now this 9, which is a perfect square, it will come out of the square root sign and we can write it as 3. Okay. So minus 5 upon 9 as it is into, see this root 9 is written as 3 here and root 5 is written here because 5 is not a perfect square. Now what we can observe is this 9 and 3. 9 is multiple of 3, so we can cancel it here. 3 ones are 3 and 3 threes are 9. So our answer is what? Minus 5 root 5 divided by 3. So this is in simplest form. Got it? In denominator we have a rational number. You can write this answer as minus 5 upon 3 and root 5 separately also you can write. Like how it is written. So you can write this minus 5 upon 3 and then root 5 separately also. It is one and the same. Okay, so this is very easy. Similarly, you can solve the first one as homework. So mark it that this you will solve as homework. Very easy to solve now. 8, how you will split 8? You want one factor as a perfect square. So 8 you will write as 4 into 2 here and then simply you will go on solving. So all the steps will be similar, only the number is changed. So do it all of you. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Question number 6. Write the simplest form of rationalizing factor for the given surds. So rationalizing factor we have studied, and what we have studied there is that any surd, it can have innumerable rationalizing factors. Like we have seen for root 3, we have root 3 as factor. Then we have root 27 also as a rationalizing factor, because 3 into 27, 81, which is a perfect square. But here we have to think of simplest rationalizing factors. Okay. So whatever surds are given, first we have to express them in the simplest form, and from that we can write down the simplest form of rationalizing factor. Okay. So here let us solve first one, then second and third are very much similar. So these two you will solve as homework. I am solving first one now. So see, root 32 I will split as 16 into 2. I want a perfect square. So 16 is a perfect square. Also think of highest perfect square. 32 you cannot write as 4 into 8. 4 is also a perfect square, but always think of the biggest one. 32 we can write as 16 into 2, and 16 is a perfect square of 4. So this further we can write as 4 root 2. So 4 root 2 is the simplest form of root 32. Now we have to write down rationalizing factor. That means by what number we should multiply here so that we will get a rational number. Okay. So always think of the irrational part. That is your rationalizing factor. So here in this case, root 2 is the simplest form of rationalizing factor for root 30. See, root 32 into root 2. 32 into 2 is what? 64, which is a perfect square. That is, answer we will get as 8, which is a rational number. Okay, so here in this way we can find out the simplest form. Similarly, for 25 you can split as, I'm sorry, for 50 you can write it as 25 into 2, which is a perfect square. So again you will get 5 root 2 here. So again the simplest form is root 2 only. Then for 27 you can write as 9 into 3. So this you can write as 3 root 3. So here the factor is root 3. So you will solve this as homework. Okay. Now I am solving question number 4. 3 upon 5 root 10. Now just think of this irrational part. Can you simplify it further? Can you factorize 10 in such a way that one factor is a perfect square? No. See, 10 you can write as 5 into 2, where both are prime numbers. They are not perfect squares. So this is in simplest form only. So here to cancel this root 10, we have to multiply here by root 10 only. Okay, so when we will multiply by root 10 into root 10 is 10. That will get cancelled with 5 and you will get answer as 6. So here it is not possible for us to simplify, but directly we can write down the rationalizing factor, that is root 10. So root 10 is the simplest form of rationalizing factor of 3 upon 5 root 10. Got it? Now Let us go ahead. I am solving one more, that is question number 5 here. Question number 6 is very easy. See, here also it is in the same form. 11 you cannot simplify further. So here root 11 is the factor, rationalizing factor you can say. So let's go for fifth one now. Okay, so fifth one is 3 root 72. 72 we can split as 36 into 2, which is the perfect square of 6. And 3 outside as it is. So this we can write as 6 root 2. 3 into 6 root 2. So 3 into 6 is 18 root 2. Simplest form of 3 root 72 is what? 18 root 2. And then from this we can write down the rationalizing factor. That here also root 2 is the simplest form of rationalizing factor of 3 root 72. Okay. So in this way you can complete it. I hope you must have written all the answers. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Question number 7, simplify. Okay. So from this question number 4 and 5, they are not there. They are deducted. They are under the reduced syllabus. Okay. So take a note of this. So from this 7th one, you will have only 3 questions. Okay. If you want for practice, you can solve them as self-study. Got it? Because even though the portion is deducted, they have given the remark that self-study. You have to do it. But only thing is that it will not come in exams. Okay. So now here we have to simplify. So I am solving the first one here and I am solving second one. Similarly, then you can solve third one. By using the method which is used in second one, you can solve third one because they are similar. So I am solving first and second. So let us go for the first one here. 4 upon 7 square root of 147 plus 3 upon 8 root 192 or square root of 192 minus 1 upon 5 square root of 75. Now first of all you have to think of the irrational part, and that irrational part you have to write in the simplest form, because you know that we can add or subtract the surds only if they are like surds. That means the irrational part should be exactly same. Then only we can add or subtract. Okay, so here directly adding or subtracting is not possible for us. So let's express it in the simplest form. So here we have to think of factor of 147 such that one factor is a perfect square. So start thinking. The very first square is 4. 147 is not divisible by 4. Next square is 9. 147 is not divisible by 9. After that, next is 16. Not divisible by 16. Not divisible by 4. So obviously not divisible by 16. Then go further, 25. Not divisible by 25. Not divisible by 36. The next square is 49. So see whether it is divisible by 49. Okay. 49 3s are 147. Okay. So we got the factors 49 into 3. Now once we got 3 there, here also we have to divide by 3. So when you will divide 192 by 3, you will get the answer 64. So this we can write as 64 into 3. And 75 we can write as 25 into 3. Okay, so in this way, we have to find out the factors for all these 3 numbers in such a way that one factor is same everywhere, because we want like surds. Got it? Now see, 49 is a perfect square of 7. That will come out. 64 is a perfect square of 8. So 8 will come out. And 25 is a perfect square of 5. So the in next step, we can write it like this. See, 4 upon 7 as it is into 49 is square of 7. So write down square outside. That is 7. And then here, root 3 as it is. Then 3 upon 8 as it is. 64 is square of 8. So write down 8 outside and root 3 inside. Minus 1 upon 5. Here 5. Square is 25. So we have to write down square root of 25, that is 5 outside and root 3 inside. Got it? So this is simplified now. 147 we have simplified as 7 root 3. 192 we have simplified as 8 root 3. And this 75 we have simplified as 5 root 3. Now what you can observe is this 7 and this 7 will get cancelled here, 8 and 8 will get cancelled here, 5 and 5 will get cancelled. And simply here we will get the numbers as 4, 3 and -1. That is rational part, that we will write down in bracket. And outside we will write down irrational part, that is common. So 4 plus 3 plus 1. I'm sorry, -1. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. So our answer is 6 root 3. Got it? I hope you must have understood it. Now I'm going towards the second one. And by using that, you're going to solve third one as homework. So mark this as homework. So question number 3 here. 5 root 3 plus 2 root 27 plus 1 upon root 3. Now see here, the irrational number is present in denominator. And that is why we cannot add. You know that we have to rationalize denominator. We want rational number in denominator. So first of all, we have to rationalize it. At the same time, we will express this root 27 in the simplest form. 5 root 3, which is in simplest form, that we will write as it is, plus 2 as it is. This 27 is written as 9 into 3. 9 is a perfect square. And plus 1 upon root 3, it is multiplied and divided by root 3 because we want to rationalize the denominator. Okay. So here this 5 root 3, again it will remain as it is, and this 9 will come out as 3. So we can write it as 2 into 3 root 3 plus here 1 into root 3 is root 3, and in the denominator root 3 into root 3 is 3. Okay. So now what we can observe here is all these 3 are like surds. The irrational part is same, root 3, root 3, root 3 everywhere. Okay, so that we can take out common. So inside the bracket we can write down the remaining rational part. That means 5 plus 6. See, 2 into 3 is 6, and plus here 1 upon 3. Okay, this root 3 upon 3 you can write as 1 upon 3 root 3. So the rational part present here is 1 upon 3. Now let's add this. You know that if we want to add the fractions, the denominator should be same. So here denominator is 3, but here it is not 3. So we have to make it 3. So here both the places we have to multiply by 3. So what we will get? 15 plus 18 plus 1, the whole divided by 3. So 15 plus 18 is 33 plus 1, that is 34. So our answer is 34 root 3 upon 3. Okay, so this way you are going to simplify it. Okay, now third one, in third one you have root 6 in the denominator. So you multiply and divide by root 6, you are going to get the answer. Okay, so try to solve it by yourself. Now let's go ahead. The last question, rationalize the denominator. Okay, so here also I am solving two sums. See, fourth and fifth is not there. It is under reduced syllabus. So here first one is very easy. Just now how we have rationalized root 1 upon root 3. Similarly, you can rationalize this by multiplying and divide by root 5. So now I am solving second one. 2 upon 3 root 7. So here the rationalizing factor is root 7. So I am multiplying and dividing by root 7. We have to multiply both the places, in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Okay, so when we multiply here in the numerator, we will get 2 root 7, and here 3 into 7. Why? Because root 7 into root 7 is 7. And then 3 into 7 is 21. So the final answer we can write as 2 root 7 upon 21. Okay, so in this way we got rational number in denominator. That means we have rationalized the denominator. Got it? So copy it. Similarly, solve first one simply by multiplying and divide by root 5. Now I am discussing third one. Okay, such sums also we have solved in exercises, but still I am solving it. 1 upon root 3 minus root 2. Okay, so here to rationalize this denominator, we need to multiply and divide by conjugate pair. Conjugate pair means simply change the middle sign here. So write the question as it is, 1 upon root 3 minus root 2. I have written in bracket, okay, because two terms are there. And then we have multiplied and divided by the conjugate pair. That means here simply we are writing plus sign. Okay, but take care that both the place you are writing the same number. Okay, now 1 multiplied by anything is the same thing. That means the numerator will be root 3 plus root 2. And in denominator we have a plus b and a minus b. So you know the expansion, it is a square minus b square. So in denominator what we can write it as root 3 the whole square minus root 2 the whole square, and numerator root 3 plus root 2 as it is. Okay. Now root 3 square is 3 and root 2 square is 2. So 3 minus 2, the answer is 1. And therefore our final answer is root 3 plus root 2. Okay. So in this way, we have completed the problem set. We have completed chapter number 2. Okay. In the next lecture, I will take revision of chapter number 1, that is sets. Okay. So you please be ready with that. If you have any doubts, you can post them on WhatsApp. You can personally message me that teacher, I have doubt, so and so doubt I am having. So you just revise that chapter sets, and if you want me to explain anything, then simply message me. I will take the lecture accordingly. Okay, so students, today I am stopping here. We will meet in next lecture. Till that, you stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself. Thank you, students.